So, hi there. What can you tell me what your name is?
My name is Mike Iaeger,
And what's your role at
and I'm a
DirecTV?
project manager, senior project manager at DirecTV.
Okay, so what kind of projects have you managed recently?
Most of them are in the infrastructure area, but a little bit removed from actually just putting hardware in. Worked middleware replacement, where we are replacing the middleware layer from going from ICANN to Fusion, because ICANN was end of life in 2017. So it was a 5-year project to switch over from all the ICANN services to Fusions, and we're about half done with it.
Okay, and were there multiple applications impacted? Was it a complex project?
Yeah, we had at any point in time there might be as many as 10 to 15 different applications involved in a release. It just depended, but overall I believe there's a neighborhood of 30 different applications
Okay,
or edge systems that are involved in that.
okay, so pretty
activity.
complex and visible too.
Um, it's the kind of thing, the visibility is if something goes wrong. If everything goes right, nobody even knows. One day they're using ICANN, the next day they're using Fusion.
Okay.
Okay, but management was aware of it because it was an expensive project, and it represented some risk to the enterprise as far as not getting off of the old ICANN.
Now, on this project, did you have a PTC, a project test coordinator, assigned to the project?
Yes, we actually did from day one.
Okay, and was it the same PTC?
I think the first year before I was here, we had a different PTC than what we have right now, and then we've had the same test coordinator now for about, I think, 3 years.
Okay. And have you been on projects before without a PTC
Actually,
here at DirecTV?
most of my projects didn't have a PTC.
Okay. And when you had a PTC versus not having a PTC, did you find a difference in how you interacted with the test department?
Absolutely,
and
totally different.
And what were some of the challenges, some of the benefits
Well, it was mostly benefits.
to having a PTC?
Absolutely, because if you don't have a project test coordinator, then you have to know all of the different people, and you have to go and engage them and schedule the meetings and coordinate with their schedule and all that. And so it's a huge amount of overhead on the project manager if he doesn't have a PTC. And for a small project, I can see, that would be overkill. But for a project of this size, we've got so many applications involved, and you've got a consistent succession of edge system work and development work and that kind of thing. It just really lent itself to taking advantage of that.
Okay, and what were some of the things that the PTC did that freed you up from having to navigate through SQA?
It was that single point of contact. So it didn't matter what it was. Even if it was something that may have been outside of her duties, at least I would go to my project test coordinator and tell her what my issue or my concern or what my need was. And even if it wasn't her responsibility, she could help me navigate through the testing world and who to go to. Because for instance, some of the systems didn't do their testing in the traditional SQA way, but she was familiar with that because that had been encountered before. So I got help even navigating outside of SQA for anything that's really test related.
Okay. And for future projects of that type of complexity, would you go ahead and request a PTC, or is that something you'd want to venture on your own?
I would always request one.
And
I
why
wouldn't
is that?
consider it. Because as a project manager, we always have more to do than we have time to. So any time that you can, that you can delegate some of that work and the follow-up, and sometimes it's minutia, but it's still important. It frees you up to do the other things that you need to do.
Great. Well, thank you. That's all we have. Is there anything else you'd like to share about having a project test coordinator on your project? that we haven't asked?
That I don't think I'd ever go into another project without at least asking for one. I get that I might not, my project might not warrant one, but I'll always be asking. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you very much.
All right. Cool. So now, what is it that